fifth graders, so it's time for our next bit of enrichment. And again, for our enrichment, really what we're trying to do is just give you some things that are involving life skills. So we've done cookies, we've done budgets, we've done ledgers, we've done animal identification. Today, we're going to take you through some really basic car maintenance, really basic. Helping me out today with this one is not going to be me, because I don't know much about cars. We're going to have my older son, Aiden, help us out.
My name is Aiden, and today I'm going to be showing you some basic car maintenance with my dad's RAV4. Okay, so the first big part of really any maintenance on a car, most of it, is getting under the hood. So we're going to go through that here to start. First of all, driver's side, and usually it's right down here. There's a little lever. Sometimes you have to step on it, sometimes you pull it. Usually you pull it. All you do, pull that back, you'll hear a snap and you'll feel it. And come over here. Now, at this point, it can get a little dangerous. First of all, it's a hot engine and you can't see very well, but there's always a lever. So all you do is feel for it. I can feel that's right here. You push up on this one, or is it to the side? This one's to the side, and just lift up. Now, this one has this thing. So basically, put it up into the hood so it doesn't fall on you. Some cars have other things that'll just make it go up automatically, but make sure you know a little bit about that. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about fluids and just how to check them. So here is coolant, and then here's wiper fluid. So right on the side here, you'll see a little, you'll see low, high, or full, or whatever. And in this case, coolant is pink and it's a little low. Could use a little bit of filling. And then over here you have wiper fluid. Now there's always more wiper fluid than you see. It's empty here, but there's a full tank down there, so we're probably good on that for now. One other thing about the coolant though, this isn't something you want to mess with until the car has been running for a couple hours. This is something that if it opens, it'll explode and it'll go all over the place, so don't want to do that. Okay, so next we're going to look at the oil. The oil is very important for a car. It keeps it running and it keeps the engine lubricated. So in this case, we would check the oil with the dipstick, which is right here. All cars have a dipstick. The way you would check it is you grab it, you're being careful because the oil is hot. You bring it up like this, have a paper towel with you when you're doing it. Now, you don't get the reading the first time. You want to clean the entire thing off first, just like that. Nice and shiny. And you're also going to see two different dots. Now, what those are representing is your oil level. The lower dot means your engine is a little low on oil and you need to probably get it changed or looked at. This top one is about where you want it to be. In between is usually pretty good too. So, we're going to put it right back in. All the way down, and then give it a second. But the other thing about oil changes is you want to make sure the oil or the car is sat for a bit so the oil can really get to the bottom of the engine. Then pull it up, and if we look at it, this, as you can see, the oil is right up above this one. It's above that dot, so we are in good shape. And another thing about oil is whenever your car gets an oil change, if you look in the hood, in your windshield, you'll see when it got the oil change and when you need your next one. And often they do it by miles. If you look right up here, you'll see that. And this car got an oil change fairly recently. Okay, so at this point we're ready. We're done under the hood, so we're going to put it back down. So push it up, get this out. First of all, make sure that's in there nice and securely. Now you're going to bring it down about here and then just drop it. Just like that. Make sure it won't come back up. And then you're good. That's all there is to it. Alright, so next we're going to look at the tires and the tire pressure. So, if you ever look at a tire, there's tons of markings on them. You have model numbers, you have brands, whatever. But today we want to find the pressure. And that's listed over here. Now this one says 44 PSI. PSI means pounds per square inch. But 44 is the absolute max in this case. And we don't want to fill it up to the max. We want to fill it up to most tires are filled up to, which is around the 32, 33 range. You can determine this by looking in your door. Now in this case, you see different models, and then over here you see the pressure. Now the front right wants 32 PSI, so that's what we're going to give it. But in this case, we're just going to check it. So we have a air pressure gauge, which actually measures the PSI. So all you're going to do is screw this cap off. And when you're doing this, be careful to not touch that disc because it gets very, very hot. And then all you're going to do is go up to it and give it a firm push. And then if you look on here, it'll show you what you need. And here, it has 27, which means it's a little low, so we could put more air in. Put this back on. Yep. And that's all there is to it. Okay, so now that we've done one tire, we're just gonna check another one. So, same process. Screw up the cap. Make sure you don't lose it. I'll worry about that later. All these tires should be around the 32 PSI range. This one again is about that 27 range. Not exactly ideal, but now we know that we just got to fill up a few tires. Okay, so another thing about cars is windshield wipers. So if you notice that they're just not pushing water, the same way they need to, they're probably going to need to get a change. And you can find these at gas stations, Target, whatever, auto places, and they'll have, if you don't know what size you're working with, you can look in manuals, they'll have that all there for you. So here's how we're going to do this. So first of all, these ones have already been unlatched, but you're going to pull the arm up. Now some don't come up this high, but some do. All you're going to have to do is, on this one, just slide it down. You use that. We'll just put, I'll put it right here for now. And then on the new ones, you have to identify what you're looking at, and then you have to find the gap. So on this one, you're gonna push it in, turn it, wait till you hear a click. There it is. That's all there is to that one. Now there are also two different lengths. This one is actually longer, and you can tell by that. One is longer than the other. The longer one goes on the driver's side. And again, it can be different for all cars. And a thing to remember is don't put the actual arms back down on the window, because otherwise you could scratch it. Don't want to do that. Second one, down, turn, and oh, you're stuck. There you go. There you go. Alright, and push it up. We are stuck. I'm stuck on something. What? Okay, maybe cut it. I can't. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we won't cut that. And put that down. Some really nice looking wipers. And the old ones, as you can tell, they're always straight. These ones are like curved because they got shaped. Kind of worn down, really floppy. And that doesn't help at all for pushing water to the sides. So that's all there is to wipers. Okay, so now, if you happen to have a tire that's just completely gone in air and you don't have the ability to fill it, it's good to know where your spare is. So in a lot of cars, it'll be under here, and it'll be in it. In this car, we just have storage room, but often you'll find another tire down there. But this car's a little SUV, so it's going to be right here. It's a mini SUV. So it's going to be right there. You would take that off. But in order to install it, you need another tool. You can't just pop the tire off, and that's the jack. And to locate it, it'll be in the manual. It will always be in the manual. In this case, it's in this compartment right here. All you do, push the clips in, pull it off, and there it is. It's very collapsed right now, but then you would put it under a certain spot of the car, which again is put in the manual, and you wouldn't do any of this without an adult for safety reasons. Okay, so first of all, in order to run a car, before you do anything, you're going to need gas. And obviously, as you can see, we're pretty low here. So when you pull into a gas station, in order to know which side of the pump you're going to pull on, all you have to do is look at this little gas can icon here. It's going to have this little arrow either on the right or left side, and that'll tell you which side the gas cap is on. You go to that side, you pull in next to the pump, and then we do the next step. Okay, so now that we know what side of the pump we need to be on, it's time to fill it. So basically, open it up. All of these are different, but just open that up, get that ready to go. And then you got to look at some buttons here. So in order to determine what type of gas you need, it's usually in your manual, but most cars don't need anything more than just the usual unleaded, something very basic. These other ones are more for vehicles that need a little bit more of a kick, so trucks or fancier cars, whatever. Most cars are going to use this. And then from there you would take the gas nozzle, you put it in there all the way, then you lift this up. It's a handle. Not all gas pumps have it, but a lot of them do. Lift that up, and then you start filling. And some gas nozzles, this one has a little lever inside the handle, so you can push the lever down, and basically once it's done filling, it'll automatically stop. And just a word to the wise, never leave your car running while you're filling up gas. Okay, so obviously all the things we did today, it's very helpful to have the manual. This is what they look like, usually around this size. You can find them in the glove compartment or under your seat. Always check these so you can check everything from oil to tire pressure. Obviously make sure your parents are around. But then once your car's good to go, buckle up, very important. Safety first. Then take a ride.